What's good, fellow cast and other rejects? It's Nier here, and welcome to WTC, the Anime Outcasts. First off, if you're new here, we upload anime what-ifs based on My Hero and other shows alike. Secondly, did you know 80% of our audience isn't subscribed? So, if you want us to continue making videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Before walking into the arena, Izuku was stopped by All Might and Melissa, as the two congratulated him on his latest achievement. Thanking the two, he proceeded to leave, but before he could, the symbol of peace told his protege to give it his all and show everyone that he was there. Nodding to his request, the green-haired boy continued to walk towards his destiny. "Good luck, young Midoriya! I believe you can do it!" said All Might, as Melissa then proceeded to give Izuku a hug, before walking out into the arena.
That kid really is special, Uncle Might.
With the first exciting match about to unfold, please welcome our two combatants. On one hand, we have the top student of Class 1A, the Emerald Archer, the unstoppable Izuku Midoriya, versus Hitoshi Shinzo from General Study Course. The rules are simple. Force him out of the ring, or make them cry uncle.
President Mike announced, while everyone cheered, although most of the cries went towards Izuku instead of the purple team. "I'll stop the fight if things get too rough," added Cementos, looking directly at the two combatants. Before the round began, Shinzo opened his mouth to speak. "I've heard a lot about you, Izuku Midoriya. From what I heard, you've interned at a hero agency abroad. I've heard you were saved by that fake hero, the Green Arrow. And I have respect for the bastard. You're wearing a hood just like his. You call yourself a hero. All he does is murder villains. Like a no-good vigilante." Doing his best to get the Greenette to talk, the inquiring teen continued to taunt him by insulting his mentor, which ultimately angered the young archer. Unable to stand Shinzo's insults, the irritated youth opened his mouth. "The Green Arrow isn't—" Before Izuku could even finish his sentence, he felt something odd inside of him. Feeling himself go into a daze, he knew that something was wrong.
What the hell? What's happening to me?
Izuku thought to himself, feeling his body freeze in place, while Shinzo continued to smirk. "And I thought you were the strongest out of everyone here. It's a shame you had to fall for my quirk. Now do me the favor, walk out of the arena," continued Shinzo, using his mind control quirk to force the Emerald teen out.
What's this? It seems Izuku Midoriya is forfeiting the match. Can this really be it for our Emerald hero?
President Mike was yelling in utter shock and surprise, while both Uraraka and Ida pleaded for Izuku to snap out of his trance. "What the hell are you doing, Midoriya? You're going against everything I've taught you!" shouted the baffled Oliver Queen, watching his apprentice from the stands.
Crap! I shouldn't have let my ego get the better of me! I should have listened to Ojiro! I can't believe I fell for this! I'm gonna pay the price for my ignorance! I'm sorry, Oliver!
Izuku was trapped inside his mind, but before he could even step outside of the arena, he saw something. There was a group of people watching him from the distance.
What the hell? Who are those people?
asked the Greenette, feeling a sudden surge of energy pulsing through his right hand. The next thing he knew, Izuku felt a shockwave, sending a huge cloud of smoke everywhere.
What happened?
Curious about what had just unfolded, Ida and Uraraka jumped up from their chairs, but they could only see the cloud of smoke and debris surrounding the freckled youth.
What just happened, folks? A huge shockwave just went across the entire arena! Is it all over for Izuku Midoriya?
The stunned President Mike watched as the cloud of smoke and debris dissipated. Barely standing on the edge of the ring, Izuku managed to keep himself in, much to the shock of the mind-controlled teen. "What? How did you break free of my quirk?" Shinzo asked, afraid of what would happen next. He watched as the Emerald hero turned around, the freckled youth's eyes burrowing into him as the power of One for All coursed through Izuku's veins. At that moment, Shinzo knew he was done for. The next thing he knew, Izuku lunged directly at him with overwhelming speeds. By the time his brain was even able to register what had transpired, Shinzo was already out of bounds, his body embedded into a wall of concrete behind him.
Possible,
Izuku muttered, right before losing consciousness.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Our first winner of the third round, Izuku Midoriya,
Announced the R-rated hero, as the entire stadium erupted into a loud roar of cheers, followed by the shocked expression of All Might and Melissa.
Way to go, Deku!
Shouted Uraraka, walking towards her friend, while Izuku continued to stand before the fallen Shinzo.
Word of warning, Shinzo. Next time you try and piss me off, you won't be so lucky.
Izuku looked at his right hand, still feeling the power of One For All coursing through, noticing some bruising from both his index and middle finger. The brunette clenched his fist to ease the pain.
I must have instinctively used One For All right before stepping out of the arena.
The boy muttered to himself, as he walked towards Recovery Girl's office so he could get himself treated. With the first round finally out of the way, the rest of Izuku's classmates continued to fight, the outcome each being the exact same as canon. Walking out into the arena, Izuku could hear the cheers coming from the crowd.
With the first round of the third event coming to a close, it's time for the second round to begin! In the corner to my left, the Emerald Archer, the cunning, the unstoppable, Izuku Midoriya!
The announcer then took a deep breath as the entire crowd began to cheer for the young hero.
Well, to my right, the winner of the second event by a landslide, from the hero course of Class 1A, give it up for Shoto Todoroki!
With the two combatants finally coming face to face, both boys locked eyes with one another. Both of them started at one another in an intimidating manner. Even the spectators could feel the tension, as all eyes turned towards the two. A bandaged-up Tomura Shigaraki watched the festival live on TV, as an unknown individual warned him about the two boys, especially the one that almost took both of his hands. Well, here we are, murmured Todoroki, breaking the tension as Izuku continued to look at the Son of Endeavor.
Don't think I'm gonna go easy on you, Todoroki,
Izuku responded before stepping into the arena. Knowing that this would be a tough fight, the brunette meditated for a brief moment, using Oliver's techniques to calm himself down before the massive fight.
This is it. Everyone's watching. My mom, All Might, Oliver, my classmates, everyone. This is the time to show them that I am here, to prove that I'm not the quirkless boy that I was 11 months ago. I'm ready for you, Todoroki!
Shouted the freckled youth before activating his quirk. Letting the power of One For All course throughout his veins, the successor of All Might activated full cowling.
One for all! Full cowling! 10%!
Shouted the Emerald Teen, as green electricity started sparkling off the boy's body. Seeing the greenette power up, Todoroki wasted no time in activating his ice quirk.
Begin!
Right as the words from the present mic left his lips, both combatants activated their quirks, as within the flash, a large sheet of ice raced towards Izuku, as he barely had enough time to even register Todoroki's quick attack. Utilizing 10% of One For All, the greenette flicked his fingers towards the sheet of ice, moving out of its way, as only with 10%, the green-haired boy wasn't able to completely destroy the wall of oncoming ice. Using One For All takes a heavy toll on the user, especially as young Midoriya's body, as he hasn't been able to muster up all of 100% of One For All safely. Close the distance, young Midoriya, All Might said to himself, watching his protege dodge the oncoming barrage of ice.
Since I'm unable to completely break through Todoroki's ice attacks, I need to close the distance. Luckily, with full cowling, I'm able to spread the power of One For all over my body. Meaning that instead of focusing on one part of my body, I can focus it on my legs at the same time,
thought Izuku, jumping into the air, sending a downward strike onto Todoroki's ice wall.
Take this! Manchester Smash!
Roared the greenette, effortlessly chopping through the ice in half, before charging right after Todoroki.
What? He used his legs?
Asked the startled son of Endeavor, feeling an electrical energy touch his face as he barely avoids Izuku's kick. The stinging sensation burnt his skin, reminding him of pain his mother gave him all those years ago.
Get away from me!
Retorted the icy hot teen, setting another wall of ice towards the freckled youth. Rubbing the side of his face, Todoroki looked at the Emerald Hero with anger and determination, hoping that he would be able to knock him out of bounds. The Greenette held on, One For All still coursing all through his body. Izuku darted his attention at the angered son, his glowing eyes piercing through his soul.
You're hesitating, Todoroki! This is not the person I wanted to fight! Where's the other half of your quirk?
Asked the freckled youth, clenching his fist towards the bichromatic teen.
You wouldn't understand, Midoriya. I promised myself not to use my old man's side.
Todoroki retorted, before sending another chunk of ice towards All Might's successor.
If you think you can win with just half your quirk, you're sadly mistaken! Look at me, Todoroki! I'm giving it all I have! And I'm going to use the fullest extent of my quirk without ripping my body apart! There's an extension of your physical body. Don't neglect your quirk! Accept the fact that you have won in the first place!
Closing the distance, both successors lunged towards each other.
And if you think you can take me on in close quarters combat, you've made a grave mistake!
Shouted the determined teen, using one of Oliver's takedown techniques that the Greenette learned during his time at Lian-Yu.
Ouch, that's gotta hurt! Even though Midoriya doesn't have a bow, he's still a formidable opponent!
Commented President Mike, as the entire crowd cheered for both students of Class 1A. Watching the fight unfold, All Might couldn't help but recognize Izuku's fighting style. It was like he was someone else. Something else.
Where did young Midoriya learn how to fight like that? Did he take notes off the Green Arrow?
All Might thought to himself, as Oliver continued to watch the fight unfold.
Remember, Midoriya, don't let your ego overwhelm your judgment. Focus on the mission at hand!
Covering from Izuku's takedown, Todoroki continued to lose stamina, unlike Izuku, who looked that he could go on for another hour.
Why are you like this, Midoriya? Why aren't you backing down? Tell me!
Demanded a confused Todoroki, unable to withstand the young archer's barrage.
Because at least I go all the way, unlike you! We both want to become pro heroes, and if you're planning on only using your right side, you're destined to fail! You know you have a traumatic childhood, but that shouldn't stop you from becoming the hero you want to be!
Hearing Izuku's lecture, the dichromatic teen slowly began to reflect on his traumatic childhood, the abuse from his father, the abuse that Endeavor inflicted on his mother, the pain of the boiling water poured on him. It was too much for him.
I refuse to use my left side. I can't!
Muttered the neglected teen, coughing from the pain of the blunt force of Izuku's strikes. Clearly outmatched, but just as he was about to send the conflicted son of Endeavor out of bounds, flashes of his childhood raced through him.
It's your quirk, Todoroki! Not his, damn it!
Roared the voice of Izuku, pushing One For All to a whopping 15%. By the time he was in the air, Todoroki realized if he was going to win, he had to use all his power. After a flashback of memories continued to race through the son of Endeavor, the dichromatic teen ignited his left side, sending a stream of fire towards the Emerald Youth, pushing him back.
Todoroki's finally using his left side? Is this the end for our beloved champion Midoriya?
President Mike asked, watching the climax of their fight. Finally satisfied he was able to bring out the full potential of his classmate, the Greenette couldn't help but smile at his accomplishment, only for him to be met by a confused look from Todoroki.
Why are you smiling in such a dire situation?
Asked the confused son, while the successor of All Might continued to smile at the dichromatic teen.
Because I won't be able to hold back anymore!
Responded the green-haired boy, pushing his body past its limits. Using the full power of One For All, the Emerald teen focused half of his quirk onto his legs, while focusing the full power of his quirk into his arms. For the first time in 11 months, Izuku used the full power of One For All, knowing that his attack would decide the victor. Wasting no time, the Greenette lunged towards Todoroki at full speed, not even caring about his body anymore. The young teen recounted all the moments he had with Oliver. From their first encounter, their training in Lian Yu, to the achievements that led him to this point.
Detroit Smash!
Midnight, we need to stop this fight immediately, Cementos shouted, concerned for the two students. Both teachers intervened. Using his cement quirk, Cementos created walls of concrete to soften the blow. That didn't matter, as both teams made contact with one another. Upon making contact, a huge wave of smoke and flames, along with chunks of concrete, scattered across the arena, knocking everyone off their feet, as Oliver looked in pure astonishment and worry. "Midoriya," muttered the concerned Oliver, seeing nothing but smoke in front of him.
What just happened?
"Is it over? Did they just kill each other?" With smoke and vapor clearing, their eyes widened at the sight of both successors of All Might and Endeavor. To their left, Izuku was still hanging on, using whatever willpower was left to prevent him from going out of bounds. But to their right was the unconscious body of Shoto Todoroki laying on the ground.
It's all over? Todoroki's out of bounds! The winner of the second round is Izuku Midoriya!
Midnight announced, declaring Izuku the victor, as tears erupted in the stadium. The victorious Sheen couldn't help but smile, not even acknowledging the pain emanating from both his right arm and both his legs. Looking at his mentor, young Archer smiled at the Emerald Vigilante before he let the Black Void blanket his mind. Thanks, Outcasts and Rejects, for watching till the end of the video. If this video gets 80 likes in 2 weeks, we'll continue the series. Other than that, if you have any questions about the series or channel, sound off in the comments, so feel free to join our Discord. And well, that's it for today's video. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and it's Nier signing out. Peace, y'all.